on October 20th. Yesterday was day 53. An outside group, I'm calling them angels from God, not from hell. And these people witnessed the wind and terrible weather we had and how the tents were flapping, and there was quite a bit of disarray. So they were motivated to do something to help cause a windbreak. And so they are also aware, because I shared with them, that we have a proposal to the city for a type of housing which is similar to what you would use when they plant trees or fight fires. It's got a wood base, wood sides, and then the tarp peaked top, and a wood-burning fireplace. And they indicated that this material could be then used for those shelters. That's approximately 30 floors with the wood structure to support the floors. The city will not talk to us about our proposal. City staff, Siri Bertelsen, after listening to our presentation, it was submitted by a local architectural design company, said refreshing and possible. So the city had two meetings, one last Friday, one on Tuesday, and indicated to lure the homeless in that they were going to let them tell their stories and talk about solutions. Now, they had absolutely no solution whatsoever. They didn't even want to bring up the proposal that we got in their office, and they threatened people with arrests and charges on D-Day. I says, what's D-Day? He said, well, Monday. He says, Monday is the day we meet you in court, and you're going to present yours. We don't know if it's going to happen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We don't know even who's going to win, but you think it's D-Day, and you're threatening these people. You brought them in here under the idea that you had some proposals. You don't even want to talk about the proposal that we've submitted and that your staff are indicating is refreshing and possible. So they seem to want to be intent on spending this money to dismantle and confiscate the existing shelter for the immediate needs and a proposed plans for a solution. For whatever reason, Abbotsford doesn't seem to want to find a solution to the homeless problem. They want to cleanse themselves. Their new crime prevention plan, drug use, drug possession, drug dealing, all directly related to organized crime. Their most wanted list in the paper is failure to appear, breach of probation, theft under, all dope fiend charges. So criminalizing drug users instead of helping them. We have a police chief who's describing his method of getting rid of homeless people: disrupt and disperse. Well, you can imagine that probably the pepper spraying and the slashing of tents and the screaming and hollering and throwing people down in the ground, that could be considered disruptive.
Does that happen?
Well, when the chicken shit hit, the lights hit these other problems. The police admitted guilt to these actions. In this camp right now, we have two of the chicken shit individuals that had it thrown at them, and I believe 4 of the small claims for the pepper spraying and the tent slashing. They've already been paid some money by the police department, and we have 8 lawsuits of the drug war survivors and named plaintiffs against the city for the harm reduction bylaw, for the chicken shit bylaw, or the chicken shit deal. British Columbia's constitution does not specifically articulate a person's economic standing or their state of home housing, which is below the standard of the rest of Canada. The lawyers want to use this lawsuit to bring British Columbia up to the standard of Canada.
Can you tell me about today's 6 p.m. deadline and what happened to it?
Okay, well, our lawyer got into court before it was too late and won a stay, which eliminates any possibility that 6 o'clock anything is going to happen because it's been stayed. When she reported that to the city's lawyers, they said, yeah, well, we'll see you in court tomorrow morning because we're going for another one to dismantle tomorrow night. Now,
you'll have another injunction saying 6 p.m. tomorrow. Is that what you feel?
Yes. Now, our lawyers are going to fight that.
And if they're unsuccessful, will you move by 6 p.m. tomorrow?
We can't. We are physically not capable of moving all these people's personal belongings and all of this material. We don't have the tools, we don't have the vehicles, we don't have the money, we don't have the motivation to run away from these people. The people that are in here are some of the people that have been persecuted for decades. from this community. You've done everything to them. They're not scared anymore. They're scared, but they're not going to leave here. They're going to stand and resist this type of oppression.
Can you tell me about what's been going on around today with the barriers and the fences?
Well, the city thought it was really good to spend some money and put on a show for us today. So we stood here and watched 4 tow trucks come in and move about 20 cars of people that were working in those buildings over there. They were all coming out at 5 o'clock to go home anyway. But the city found the need to remove all those cars and place them over in the parking lot over there. Then the tractor trailers showed up with all these cement abutments. They put them all down, and they didn't have enough to finish. So I think they're over there doing that. So all that tow truck stuff, about $2,000, $100 a pop, a waste of money, all these cement barriers. You look up behind you, those are surveillance cameras on that 30-foot pole up there. So they're monitoring the place. They are wrapping Jubilee Park with a 6-foot construction fence. The park is now cut off from everybody.
How do you feel about those actions? Do you think they're aggressive by the city? Are they trying to push
to
you
me,
out,
these are,
intimidate you?
yes, those are all intimidation. I mean, I expected there to be 20 or 30 cops here with, maybe a personnel carrier, rocket launchers. Who knows what these guys would go to.
Are you expecting them to come at 6 p.m. and force all these people out?
No, because right from the beginning, when they first said, we were first moved in, if they had the courage, they could have enforced their bylaw, give everybody tickets, confiscate the stuff, you got 30 days to come get it. No, they didn't have the courage to do that. They said, we're going to go and get an expedited injunction. Oh, well, that means in a day or two. They didn't do that either. They got the next date available, which was December 16th, so that was 3 weeks from that day, and now we're warming up on that day. So the city's claim to do this and do that, we can't always believe it.
Where did the material, the know-how to construct this?
Well, again, I'm calling them angels. To me, this was nothing short of a miracle. To see the truck and the trailer that had this prefab situation piled, circling into the parking lot, crew of about 8 angels come out and just went crazy, and poof, there it was.
What do you expect to happen tomorrow? If there is another injunction, are you going to move? Do you expect police to come out with more force? Are you expecting them to come out tomorrow at 6 p.m.?
We got to see what happens in court. There's one side of me that says this city has got so much bad publicity for the last period of time. It's hard to imagine that they want to provoke the media and the community much more, and the outside communities. Their failure to want to have meaningful conversation and try to threaten people that they've been terrorizing for years just doesn't make sense, that the Bible Belt and people that are supposed to be compassionate could be so cruel. I hate saying it, but to torture a person to death through infectious diseases, addictions and mental health complications, and social dysfunctions, I think I got more respect for a nice clean extermination instead of putting these people through this type of terrorism.
Do you believe you have the support of that?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. There's the Christians that want to help us, and there's the Christians that want to get us out of here. Now, there's a syndrome that I call the Ellen Boyes syndrome. B-O-Y-E-S. You've done drugs recently, we can't talk to you. Boom, that puts a pretty big barrier up to any kind of services. Well, this comes out of the Mennonite Central Committee, Positive Living of the Fraser Valley, Women's Resource of the Fraser Valley, and Community Services over here. All have Mennonite Central Committee employees that believe in that concept. We asked Rod Santiago, the executive director, why did you move addictions to the other side of town? You move it from ground zero. That was some of the only point of contact for these people. These people are doing everything they can to prevent these people from getting services. When is enough enough? Thank you, buddy. Is that exciting?
Do the angels have names? Do you know who they are?
There's no wish for glory and anonymity, or whatever that word is there. They don't seem to want to be named. I'm not going to throw names out there. All I can do is call them angels. To see that happen in under 2 hours was nothing short of a miracle. There were 4 cops on the other side of the building for about half an hour. Didn't know we were over here going crazy. I don't know.
Thanks for your time, Barry.
All right, guys.
take a little bit of a shot here. We
Yeah. Do you want to talk to the kids at all? These guys came down here. They've been coming down here on the regular. There's people claiming they're not safe in the park. These kids came down and played. They've been talking to us, hanging with us, making these little signs. And there's been a lot of support, a lot of kids coming down here.
Do you guys feel safe?
Yeah. There's nothing to be worried about here.
Okay. Do you guys have permission from your parents to be on camera?
Yeah.
Can we span the camera on Mom? Can we ask
Oh,
that?
that's okay. We don't want to. We just need to kind of make sure.
Yeah, yeah. No, Mom's right there.
Yeah. Hi. All right. Are you guys all from the same family?
Yeah, we're all siblings.
Because there's walls now, they cannot see nothing.
It's going to be a busy Christmas.
There's walls.